Look at this. Isn't this just majestic?
I was racking my brain for something that I could share this week. Because I feel like my life, it's very full, but it's full of the same things. And I've talked about work a lot. I've talked a little bit about reading. And I haven't gotten to do that much writing lately. I've even talked about my commute, which takes up a lot of my time. But one thing that I haven't talked about, that I don't really get the chance to share with anyone because I do it alone, is running. Just about every day, I get up and on weekday mornings, that's the first thing I do. I go for a run so I can get a shower and get out to work. And on the weekends, I take a more leisurely run, which is what I'm going to show you.
It is a beautiful, not rainy day. I like running in the rain, but for the purposes of filming, great day for us to go for a run together.
Okay, so if this were a weekday, it's about 9 now. If this were a weekday, this would be at 7, and it would be dark, and I would be going to the track down the street.
This is the track where I would normally be running in the mornings, but it's a weekend, so there are children playing on it.
That track is really convenient. It's just down the street, it's a measured distance, I can very easily control, like I've gone this far and now I need to go back and get dressed. But it does get monotonous. It's kind of meditative in a way, and I find myself doing a lot of math because I'm trying to calculate the rates that I'm going, and how much farther I'll be able to go before I need to go in. And so that's kind of, it's a part of my brain I don't necessarily get to use otherwise. And that kind of competing with myself constantly and trying to do better on every lap and being so aware of how fast I'm going. That's another thing that I don't get to do very much. And it's kind of nice because with writing and with both my jobs, it's really open-ended. There's not like, I did this much better in this draft than in the prior draft. So it's a really satisfying way to open my day, like to be able to see, like, I did this much better than usual today.
This is not my favorite hill to go up.
Yeah, I hate that hill.
This is the eerily perfect house at the top of the hill. Looks like it could be a movie set or something. And you can't see them right now, but there be chickens.
So here I am at mile 1. It's about a mile from my house to the Burke. So let's get started.
Coming up on mile marker 2.
This is the point at which I start actually liking the landscape. It just feels like it envelops you. There's a lot more open sky behind me, which I'm just spent too much time in Western Washington. I'm not into that. That being said, I really like the chance to get outdoors and not be looking at a screen for an hour or two.
Something about this little valley I really love. Vaguely elfin. Let me show you what I mean. Also, yeah, look at this ivy strung along a homemade fence. Beautiful. Also, with all the wood chips, it's kind of a landmark, which, when it starts to get monotonous, is real nice. And look at that. Houses just kind of buried around. Dropped my glove while I was filming. Alright, coming up on the 3-mile marker.
For a long time, I was doing 6 miles. So there's about a mile to the Burke Gilman. I would go down for 2 miles. I would come back. And it was nice. It was about an hour, which is a nice even chunk to go for a run. And then a couple of times I zoned out and I just kept going, and it was really pretty. And so I've made it a habit to start going 8 miles on the weekends, because especially on weekdays, sometimes like I've just woken up, I'm like running late because something was wrong with the toilet or the lights and I had to like fix it before I could leave. And then I don't have to get so stressed out about like, I didn't get in a very good run today, or like, I just want to go to work and not go for a run, and I can, you know, let those days go and just take these nice, long, leisurely runs, really stretch out and enjoy the outdoors. Because the thing is, the reason why I do this, I mean, it's good, it's healthy, but like, it's kind of a pain sometimes, and it hurts my feet, and my joints click. Why do I do this to myself? A big part of it is because it's so meditative. Like, it's this long time where I'm not plugged into anything, I'm not responsible to anything, my body is occupied, and I'm focusing on, well, partly on my body, partly, like, just very, like, not so much, like, my leg itches, it's more like me, my motivation getting to that next mile is the same as my body moving, and it's not like I'm trying to do this thing and my leg is distracting me. And another part is, with my body occupied, like fully doing something, my brain is freer, and I feel like I come up with a lot of cool stuff. I would run, like, this is the first time in a couple of years that I've gotten to run outside every day, which is another part of why I'm so excited about it. But like, my sophomore year, when I first started taking creative writing classes, I would end up writing most of my stuff in my head when I went for runs, and it's just this beautiful time where I can like observe things around me, and something about the rhythm of running gets me thinking. It's a nice time.
Feeling pretty good. It's still hard to shake the idea that I'm done now and it's time to turn around, but miles 4 and 5 are worth it. Let's watch and see. Not a bad view. Approaching the halfway point, mile marker 4. I'm feeling okay. I'm ready to turn around, but since I've been going kind of slow filming, I'm not as tired as I usually am. But it's definitely, my feet are always raw by this point. And let's turn it around. They are still building this place, and sometimes when I run by, they're testing the alarms, which is really scary. I'm glad it's not happening today. Remember mile marker 3? Well, now it's mile marker 5, and I'm passing it. Feeling fine. Honestly, I was doing these selfie shots because I figured I would be sweatier and more flushed by now, but it's pretty cold, so I am tired. I'm feeling it, but I don't look like I've made a lot of progress. Yes, 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 majestic trees. I am running through the trees. Little red chairs in my favorite glen.
You can see me getting more and more delirious as the run goes on.
Okay, so right up here is a post with a number 17 on it. And when I see that, I know I'm on the home stretch for the Burke. I know that 5 or 7 mile marker is coming up. Seven miles down, 1 more to go. First, 2 more hills. Here we are, starting up hill number 1, and up here is where it gets tricky. I get to battle up a very steep slope and a curve, hoping that cars don't hit me. Around the bend, just around the river bend. This is a road I know, but I'm out of breath and trying to distract myself. Did I mention that the hill is really long? I'm over it now. Which is to say that I'm about ready for the last hill, which is coming right up. It's not as steep, but after the hill before has already kicked my butt, it's not, you know, the funnest thing. Yeah, see? Just one more hill. Okay, you remember that hill that I labored up on the way? Well, now we're on our way back, and it's all downhill from here. I've never understood that phrase. Going downhill has a negative implication, but going downhill is also easy. And so you would think, I don't know what you would think. You could think either way. Either way, I'm gonna stop filming now because this hill gets real steep and real frightening. Goodbye. I don't think I mentioned this on my way, but there's this one particular puddle. It's really a small pond. I have to navigate every time. It's up all this mud. I'm always afraid a car is gonna drive through it and splash me. This is it on a relatively small day. Because it didn't rain that much yesterday and hasn't been raining today. Aren't I lucky? Alright, this is the real home stretch, complete with a palm tree. But seriously, 8 miles and I'm done. Yeah, so thanks for coming on my run with me. Now I'm gonna take a shower and film all the parts where I'll be clean and sitting for you guys that you guys will see later. Meta. Thank you for joining me.